Let's spin the wheel. Here we go. All these things are on the wheel, and all these things are available for request. Like to see something or other? You have a favorite poem, favorite song? Ooh, the Poetry Pagoda. Let's go. This is Because I Could Not Stop for Death by Emily Dickinson. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves in immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor, my leisure too, for his civility. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of gazing grain. We passed the setting sun. Or rather, we passed the dews, drew quivering. For only gossamer, my gown, my tippet, only tulle. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day I first surmised the horses' heads were toward eternity. Wow, I think I blew that one completely, but that's all right, folks. That's why it's free. Let's go spin the wheel. Here we go. Riddles. All right, let's head on down to the riddle room. See if I can't find you a good one. Here's a simple one I think you'll enjoy. If you know the answer, type it in the chat. If you're right, that's going to feel pretty good, right? Here we go. I turn once. What is out will not get in. I turn again. What is in will not get out. What am I? I'll say it again. What is out will not get in. Turn me once. I turn again. What is in will not get out. What am I? The answer is a key. Let's spin the wheel. Feeling way off my game today. So big thanks to anybody who's tuning in. You're still out there, Anna. Courtney, oh my goodness gracious. I'm so happy to see you. No, the riddle room is not a very whittle room. It sure doesn't fit me. I try to seem a little bit bigger than anything. I'm so happy to see you. I've been meaning to call you for a while. I'm happy you're back home. I'm doing that Johnny Millwater and Friends show again, and I've been too shy to get in touch with you. I think all I have is your Facebook Messenger. So I want to talk to you about booking you for a show, first of all, and just seeing how you're doing, second of all. Hello. Here's a monologue. Let's go down to the theater. We'll do a monologue. So nice you to tune in. I know you're hardly ever on Facebook anymore. All right, let's do... There is something wrong with this country, from V for Vendetta. There is something wrong with this country, from V for Vendetta. Good evening, London. Allow me first to apologize for this interruption. I do, like many of you, appreciate the comforts of everyday routine, the security of the familiar, the tranquility of repetition. I enjoy them as much as any bloke. But, in the spirit of commemoration, thereby those important events of the past, usually associated with someone's death or the end of some awful bloody struggle, a celebration of a nice holiday. I thought we could mark this November the 5th, a day that is sadly no longer remembered, by taking some time out of our daily lives to sit down and have a little chat. There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak. I suspect even now orders are being shouted into telephones, and men with guns will soon be on their way. Why? While the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning. and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country. Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression, and where once you had freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission. How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others, and they will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you. And in your panic, you turned to the now High Chancellor, Adam Sutler. He promised you order. He promised you peace. And all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent. Last night, I sought to end that silence. Last night, I destroyed the Old Bailey to remind this country of what it has forgotten. More than 400 years ago, a great citizen wished to embed the 5th of November forever in our memory. His hope was to remind the world that fairness, justice, and freedom are more than words. They are perspectives. So, if you've seen nothing, if the crimes of this government remain unknown to you, then I would suggest you just allow 5th of November to pass unmarked. But if you see what I see, if you feel what I feel, and if you would seek as I seek, then I ask you to stand beside me 1 year from tonight outside the gates of Parliament, and together we shall give them a 5th of November that shall never, ever be forgot. There, that's fun, right? Nice round of applause. Let's go back to talking to hey, oh, thank you. Oh, come on. It's ridiculous. Who would even do that? Okay. Let's go talk to Courtney some more if she's still there. Back to the chat. You'll appreciate this. For the folks at home, Courtney is a fellow streamer. She's one of the best streamers I know, and fantastic. If you're on Twitch, her name is Courtney Visser. And she is a streamer herself. I am having problems with my technology. You see the screen right there where the words usually show up. They recently took that plug off the market. Apparently, I just found out this morning. So I'm just trying my best to make it work. Here's what Courtney wrote. She wrote, "Oh yes, that'd be lovely," which makes me very happy. I don't have your phone number. You have mine. Send me a text when you can. The face at the end. Make faces all the time. That's why the shot only goes this high. And then at the end she says, "You move from serious to silly so quickly. That is where I live." Smart and silly, baby. That's what I'm trying to do. Thanks for writing in, Courtney. If you have any requests or anything, let me know. I hope things are going well. I know you just got... Hey, my brother Andrew's here, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Millwater. You can't see him, but my brother Andrew, as soon as I start talking to a girl, my brother Andrew swoops in, I suppose. How you doing, Andy? Very glad to see you. He's down in Tampa, I believe. Courtney's still in America. I know she doesn't like to give out her exact location because of her throngs of adoring fans. Oh, man. Yeah, Andy's the best. Andrew's my older brother. He lives down in Florida right now. He's a former firefighter, a former fire chief. He's pretty much every manly job you could have. He was in the Army, the whole thing. Very, very cool guy. And now he's a bounty hunter, just like on the TV shows. So he probably wouldn't want to be telling people that's a secret. But, that's my brother. It's pretty cool. Well, Andrew says, "Always silly," and then Courtney says, "Hi, Andrew, another Millwater." All right, this is very weird. Let's spin the wheel. Story. Oh, I don't even have one of those loaded. Well, let's see what we got. See if I got one I can read for you. You know what? I'm going to skip. We only got 2 viewers. What? A bounty hunter. He's a guy, like if you break the law, right? I forget the story. If you break the law, we'll spin the wheel again. If you break the law, it's very weird. Let's spin the wheel, right? That's what I do. That's probably, is that the thought emoji? Is that an angry emoji? I don't even know. Oh, is Zen Cohen? I don't know. I'm doing my best out here. Let's go down to the campfire. I'll tell you, Zen Cohen. Now, as many of you know, Zen koans are tools used in the teaching of Japanese Zen Buddhism. There's over 300. I am currently on number 77. This is Zen koan. Let's see if we can't learn something. Zen koan, number 77. Zen koan, number 77. No attachment to dust. Zangetsu, a Chinese mastery of the Tang dynasty, wrote the following advice for his pupils. Living in the world, yet not forming attachments to the dust of the world, is the way of a true Zen student. When witnessing the good action of another, encourage yourself to follow his example. Hearing of the mistaken action of another, advise yourself not to emulate it. Even though alone in a dark room, be as if you were facing a noble guest. Express your feelings and become no more expressive than your true nature. Poverty is your treasure. Never exchange it for an easy life. A person may appear a fool and yet not be one. He may only be guarding his wisdom carefully. Virtues are the fruit of self-discipline and do not drop from heaven or themselves, as does rain or snow. Modesty is the foundation of all virtues. Let your neighbors discover you before you make yourself known to them. A noble heart forever forces itself forward. Its words are as rare gems, seldom displayed, and of great value. To a sincere student, every day is a fortunate day. Time passes, but he never lags behind. Neither glory nor shame can move him. Censor yourself, never another. Do not discuss right and wrong. Some things, though right, have been wrong for generations. Since the value of righteousness may not be recognized after centuries, there is no need to crave an immediate appreciation. Live with cause and leave results to the great law of the universe. Pass each day in peaceful contemplation. Back to the chat. You know what occurs to me now? In an attempt to laugh, emotes aren't great here. Oh, I know it. For those of you at home, Courtney is a Twitch superstar. She's amazing to see. She's one of the best streamers I know, and on Twitch they got all kinds of things. They got emotes, and they got different games you can play, and they got all these 3D elements that are just amazing. And I tried to get them to work, but they only work if there's people watching. And speaking of which, thank you both for watching. I hope you're doing well. Courtney says, this is very weird. Let's spin the wheel. Laugh emoji. Yeah, that's how I deal with the awkwardness. That's what the wheel's for. And Courtney says, an attempt at a laugh emoji, but emojis aren't great here. How true that is. Let's spin the wheel again, and I'm not going to come back to the chat chalet anymore. I'll still chat. I got a different shot set up, you know. Here, let's spin the wheel. Riddles! I don't like them. I'm going to skip that one. It's embarrassed. Courtney's here. I want to do something cool. I'm so happy to see you, Courtney. You haven't stuck your head on. I don't think you've ever seen my Facebook stream. Do it every Sunday. Wow. Riddles. Powerful, powerful choice. I'm triple clicking the wheel. I'm feeling lucky. Come on, wheel. Monologue! Hooray! I love monologues. Let's go to the theater. We'll do a monologue. These are fun. And now from And now from Nazareth. Nope. And now from Nazareth by Rowan Atkinson. And on the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee. And it came to pass that all the wine was drunk. And the mother of Jesus said unto the Lord, they have no more wine. And Jesus said unto the servants, fill 6 water pots with water. And they did so. And when the steward of the feast did taste of the water from the pots, it had become wine. And they knew not whence it had come, but their servants did. And they applauded loudly in the kitchen. And they said unto the Lord, how the hell did you do that? And inquired of him, do you do children's parties? And the Lord said, no. But the servants did press him, saying, Go on, give us another one. And so he brought forth a carrot, and said, Behold this, for it is a carrot. And about him knew that it was so, for it was orange with a green top. And he did place a large red cloth over the carrot, and then removed it, and lo, in his hand a white rabbit. And all were amazed, and said, This guy's really good. He should turn professional. And they brought him on a stretcher, a man who was sick of the palsy. And they cried unto him, Maestro, this man is sick of the palsy. And the Lord said, If I had to spend my whole life on a stretcher, I'd be pretty sick of the palsy too. And they were filled with joy, and cried out, Lord, thy one-liners are as good as thy tricks. Thou art indeed an all-round family entertainer. And there came unto him a woman called Mary, who had seen the Lord and believed. And Jesus said unto her, Put on a tutu, and lie down in this box. And took he forth a sword, and cleft her in twain. And there was much wailing and gnashing of teeth. But Jesus said, O ye of little faith. And he threw open the box, and lo, Mary was whole. And the crowd went absolutely bananas. And Jesus and Mary took a bow, and he said unto her, From now on you shall be known as Trixie, for that is a good name for an assistant. And the people said unto him, We have never seen anything like this. You shouldn't be wasting your time in a one-camel town like Cana. You should be playing the big arenas in Jerusalem. And Jesus did hearken unto their words, and he did go unto Jerusalem. And he did his full act before the scribes and the Pharisees and the Romans. But alas, it did not please them in their hearts. In fact, they absolutely crucified him. Thus endeth the lesson. That's by Rowan Atkinson. That guy's crazy funny. Let's spin the wheel. Trixie! Rowan's brilliant. I wish I could sing songs pretty. I have a couple songs on the wheel, but mostly it's just this kind of stuff. If I usually get 2 monologues in a row. What did it say this time? Ask me anything. Well, that's fun. That was so good. Well, thank you very much for your kind support. Nobody's better. Let's go to the chat chalet. It's time for Ask Me Anything. Let's see if this part works. There we go. And 60 seconds on... Oh, nope. I never understood why it does that, but it does that every time. 60 seconds on the clock, and you have the opportunity, Courtney, to ask me absolutely anything you'd want. 60 seconds on the clock. Nothing's off the table. I am here to tell you the truth and take a little break from the pressures of the day. Getting all of my consonants all wrong today. The pressures of the day. Delightful. I think my first internet chat name was Trixie or something. No idea why. That's a pretty funny name. That's great. I don't think you ever did magic, but you definitely could. You have the focus. My first internet chat name, what a spectacular question, and thank you for asking. Wow. Nobody does internet interaction like Courtney Visser. This is great. Or Courtney, I don't know what the rules are. I'm still getting a feel for this thing. 5 seconds left. What a great question. I only had one question so far. My first question was from Courtney. What was my first internet chat name? It was Magic Man 78. Magic Man 78. I was a magician from the time I was about 12 or 11, something like that, until my mid-20s. So, Magic Man. I was Johnny the Magic Man Millwater for years. Great question. Thanks for playing. Right? You're holding up the whole show. You're doing fantastic. You're carrying this thing on your back. It's a lot of pressure, right? Let's just keep going with the entertainment. Crazy about you. Thanks for sticking your head in. Here we go. I got a shortcut. There we go. Yeah, I have a button that does that now. I still have to spin the wheel by hand though, because it's a Streamlabs plug. Oh, here we go. Wow, 3 monologues in one day. Come on, Will, you got to mix it up. Courtney's here. Man, I cannot catch a break. All right, I'm just going to do another poem then. Jeez. You're not the boss of me. Wheel. This is To the Virgins, To Make Much of Time by Robert Herrick. Hold on, I'll do the whole thing here. To the Virgins, To Make Much of Time. To the Virgins, To Make Much of Time by Robert Herrick. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may, old time is still a-flying, and this same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying. The glorious lamp of heaven, the sun, the higher he's a-gettin', and sooner will his race be run, and nearer he's to settin'. That age is best which is the first, when youth and blood are warmer, but being spent the worse and worst, time still succeed the former. Then be not coy, but use your time, and while you may, go marry, for having lost but once your prime, you may forever tarry. Hey, that's way more fun. Oh, I like this. This looks nice. Sounds better, too. All right, then. Let's spin the wheel. We're figuring it all out, folks. Here we go. No riddle, no riddle, no riddle, no riddle. It looks dizzying. Lovely, you are. Loverly, loverly. Story again. Why not? I don't have any stories loaded. You know what? I'll do a story. Why not? You're hanging in there. See if we can't find something fun for the story. Huh? Isn't this nice? Oh, I wasn't prepared to do a story, so my shot's not where it ought to be. Give me just a second. There we go. Nice, huh? It's pleasant. Won't be needing this for these. All right, then. Let's tell you a story. Courtney, let's see. Oh, you are. All right, let's see. Courtney would probably enjoy a Mark Twain. She's always been a fan of American literature, as far as I know. Let us do The 5 Boons of Life by Mark Twain. Chapter 1. In the morning of life came a good fairy with her basket and said, "Here are gifts. Take one, leave the others, and be wary. Choose wisely. Oh, choose wisely, for only one of them is valuable." The gifts were 5. Fame, love, riches, pleasure, and death. The youth said eagerly, "There's no need to consider," and he chose pleasure. He went out into the world and sought out the pleasures that youth delights in. But each in its turn was short-lived and disappointing, vain and empty, and each, departing, mocked him. It said in the end, "These years I've wasted. If I could but choose again, I would choose wisely." Chapter 2. The fairy appeared and said, 4 of the gifts remain. Choose one more, and remember, time is flying, and only one of them is precious. The man considered long, then chose love, and did not mark the tears that rose in the fairy's eyes. After many, many years, the man sat by a coffin in an empty home, and he communed with himself. And he said, "One by one they have gone away and left me. Now she lies here, the dearest and the last. Desolation after desolation has swept over me. For each hour of happiness, the treacherousness trader, love, has sold me and paid 1,000 hours of grief. Out of my heart of hearts, I curse him. Chapter 3. Choose again, was the fairy speaking. The years have taught you wisdom. Surely it must be so. 3 gifts remain. Only one of them has any value. Remember it and choose warily. The man reflected long, then chose fame, and the fairy, sighing, went on her way. Years went by, and she came again, and stood behind the man where he sat, solitary in the fading day, thinking, and she knew his thought. My name filled the world, and its praises were on every tongue, and it seemed well with me for a little while. How little a while it was! Then came envy, then detraction, then calumny, then hate, then persecution, then derision, which is the beginning of the end. At last of all came pity, which is the funeral of fame. Oh, the bitterness and misery of renown, target for mud in its prime, for contempt and compassion only in its decay. Chapter 4. Choose yet again, it was the fairy's voice. 2 gifts remain, and do not despair. In the beginning, there was but one that was precious, and it is still here. Wealth, which is power. How blind I was, said the man. Now at last life will be worth the living. I will spend, squander, dazzle, and mockers and despisers will crawl in the dirt before me, and I will feed my hungry heart with their envy. I will have all luxuries, all joys, all enchantments, all contentments of the body that man holds dear. I will buy difference, respect, esteem, worship, every pinch, beck, grace of life the market of a trivial world can furnish forth. I have lost much time and chosen badly heretofore, but let that pass. I was ignorant then and could take but for best what seemed so. 3 short years went by, and the day came when the man sat shivering in a mean garret, and he was gaunt and wan and hollow-eyed and clothed in rags, and he was gnawing a dry crust and mumbling, curse all the world's gifts for mockeries and gilded lies, and miscalled every one. They are not gifts, but merely lendings. Pleasure, love, fame, riches, they are but temporary disguises for lasting realities. Pain, grief, shame, poverty. The fairy said true. In all her store, there was but one gift that was precious, only one that was not valueless. How poor and cheap and mean I know those others now to be, compared with that inestimable one, that dear and sweet and kindly one that steeps in dreamless and enduring sleep the pains that persecute the body and the shames and griefs that eat the mind and heart. Bring it! I am weary. I would rest. Chapter 5. The fairy came, bringing again 4 of the gifts, but death was wanting. She said, I gave it to a mother's pet, a little child. It was ignorant, but trusted me, asking me to choose for it. You did not ask me to choose. Oh, miserable me! What is left for me? What not even you have deserved. The wanton insult of old age. Mark Twain, everybody. Let's go back to the chat chalet. Now it says here, Courtney said she gave him every darn gift. That's right. Happy Sunday from BJ. Yay! Oh, Courtney, you're awesome. Wonderful. Happy Sunday, fame. She says, no. BJ says hi to Courtney. Courtney says hi to BJ. And Courtney and BJ, you're both musicians, and you both work for Carnival Cruise Lines. BJ is right now, I believe, on a guitar soloist contract coming up, and Courtney is doing wonderful things here in America. I think I'm allowed to say. I'm not sure what the rules are yet, but I know she's doing wonderful things wherever she is. Hello to you both. Hope you enjoyed the story. Let's spin the wheel. Come on, not a riddle, not a riddle, not a riddle. Shakespeare. Excellent. Let's go to the Shakespeare stage. Regular viewers will know we've been making our way through the sonnets. This, Sonnet 119, was last week. This is Sonnet 120. Sonnet 120 by William Shakespeare. That you were once unkind befriends me now, and for that sorrow which I then did feel, needs must I under my transgression bow, unless my nerves were brass or hammered steel. For if you were by my unkindness shaken, as I by yours, you've passed a hell of time, and I, a tyrant, have no leisure taken to weigh now once I suffered in your crime. Oh, what our night of woe might have remembered my deepest sense, how hard true sorrow hits, and soon to you, as you to me, then tendered the humble salve which wounded bosom fits. But that your trespass now becomes a fee. Mine ransom yours, and yours must ransom me. Make a quick adjustment here. There we go. Not bad. That's a new sonnet. Let's go back to the chat. Somewhere in America, it's a secret. I need to pop out again. This was lovely. Courtney, it was absolutely lovely of you to stop by. Please drop me a line. Let me know your phone number, something we can talk. I really want to talk to you. I miss you a lot. Thank you for posting every day. Thank you for bringing me joy when you don't even know you're doing it. You're fantastic. Keep up the great work. See you soon. All right. Fun. Let's spin the wheel. Monologue. I never get sick of these. Let's go down to the monologue. Do a theater. I'm wondering if I have anything that's under a minute. Oh, yes, I do. I have Hark, Wake's Curse from The Lighthouse. Wake's Curse from The Lighthouse. Damn ye! Let Neptune strike ye dead winds low! Hark! I don't want to do that one. Let's do Echo to Carnival. This is Echo to Carnival from Faustus by David Mamet. Echo the Carnival, wherein all rights reverse, we abjure hypocrisy, O noble traveller, who quits his burden as if ne'er to reassume it. Cast from you care, disport as before the invention of remorse. The timid call themselves philosophers, the bolder libertines. However, each, once subsumed, becomes the acolyte. The disparate revealed as one, the whole is mosaic, as we shatter the oppressive unities, till space, matter, thought, and life itself is called by the one name, Jubio. That's delivered by the devil in the Faustus. Let's spin the wheel. Here we go. Shakespeare. Marvelous. Let's go down to the theater and do some Shakespeare. Actually, you know what? Let's do the Shakespeare and the Shakespeare stage. I would like to do a brief reading. Let's do... I want to find something cheerful. You know? Educational. No, that's sad. That's sad. That's cute. There, let us do... This is my favorite. This is a speech from Hamlet. This is a speech from Hamlet. A guy named Claudius is, not Claudius. This is a speech from Hamlet. A guy named Laertes, his father is sending him off to college. His name is Polonius. This is a selection from Hamlet. A guy named Polonius is sending his son Laertes off to college and gives him this advice. Yet here, Laertes, aboard, for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and yet you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory look thy character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be they familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, grapple them under thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but, being in, bear it that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true. Then it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be any man. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee. Let's spin the wheel. Nothing new in the chat, so here we go. Ooh, finally, let's sing a song. Let's sing this one at the campfire. Find something light. All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. Woo! Goodbye. There it is. But the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. The taxi's waiting, he's blowing his horn. Already I'm so lonesome, I could die. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down. So many times I've played around. I tell you now, they don't mean a thing. Every place I go, I'll think of you. Every song I sing, I'll sing for you. When I come back, I'll wear your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come for me to leave you one more time. Let me kiss you, then close your eyes, and I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come, when I won't have to leave alone, when I won't have, about the times when I won't have to say, kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. I hate to go. I just started a quarter note higher. Not the best stream, folks, but it's fun. I like this angle. This is kind of cool. I haven't seen this before, and you can still see the old face. Hi. It's important. Matters. All right, let's spin the wheel. Let's see what's next. Roses and Thorns, one of my favorite parts. Back to the chat chalet. Here's how Roses and Thorns works. It's slow sometimes. It's tough to do. What are you going to do? Roses and Thorns is pretty simple. Here's how it works. I'm going to put a minute or two on the clock, and I want you guys to tell me your roses and your thorns for the week. The good things and the bad thing that happened. Usually there's both. You can't have one without the other, in my humble opinion. My roses this week. Let's see. I met with my buddy Paul Platt, and we had a really good writing session on Tuesday where we came up with a great idea for a play for our next episode of the podcast that we'll be producing shortly. It was a good idea. It was exciting, and I hadn't seen him in a few weeks, so that made me very happy. That was a rose. My kids finished school, so there was graduation for everybody. That was a rose. We went out to celebrate that. Let's see. Last week I saw Annie. I don't know if that's... that's worth celebrating. And my thorns, I didn't get the stuff done. I'm supposed to call the people. I have several friends. I have several people in the shows that I'm producing, and I have a very hard time getting on the phone and calling them, both to book some people. I need to book my buddy Andy to do the poster. I need to talk to my friend Caroline about the production choices that she made and see if we can't find something else. And I got to talk to a couple other people, so that's a thorn for me. What about you? Roses and thorns. Oh, here we go. BJ says that she got a raise. Congratulations. I hope it wasn't fleet-wide. I hate it when they do that, make you feel all special. Then you find out everybody got one. You deserve that raise, and I'm glad you got it. Hope you still get to keep the tips. I hope you still get to sell CDs. Remember CDs? I still got a drawer full of them things. CDs are awesome. Congratulations on your rose. Your thorn, this is not easy. Trying to get your visas for Australia. Nervous about it. I remember the time I was supposed to go to Australia to get on the Pride. I screwed up all my visas, everything, but everybody had my back, and I got emails when I made mistakes. I jumped on top of it, and everything worked out fine until I missed the flight. So I know you're going to get there without a problem, and I know everybody and the entire giant corporation is going to have your back. Go Carnival. That's what I say. I'm rooting for them. Their stock went up 2 points this week. It's the first time in over 2 years. Yay! Go Carnival. That's what I say. I heard, I don't know if this is true, I heard they were under all kinds of sanctions until April 2023. And now that those sanctions have lifted, the money's starting to flow a little bit more regularly. That's not positive. I'm not a financial expert. I'm a weird guy with a Facebook chat. Oh, and BJ says, no, I think everyone got a little something. Share the wealth. That's right, and every one of them deserved it. If you work for Carnival Cruise Lines, you're an impressive person to me. Let's spin the wheel. I got one. I haven't worked there in 3 years. It's not true. I didn't get one. Ooh, song. This ought to irritate you. Let's go to the theater. We'll sing a song. See if we can't do a little better. Let's see. I don't have... Reminds me of you. There's a song by Johnny Mercer that I associate with you. I took a trip on a train and I thought about you. But I don't have that one down on my list yet. But anyway, I always think of you because we took a trip on a train. But here's one I think you'll love. How about... We'll do one that's fast. Let's do... I'm old-fashioned. I like this one. This is by Johnny Mercer. I am not such a clever one about the latest fads. Ooh, learning how to use the mic. This is fun. I admit I was never one adored by local lads. Not that I ever tried to be a saint. I'm the type that they classify as quaint. I'm old-fashioned. I love the moonlight. I love the old-fashioned things. The sound of rain upon a window pane, the starry song that April sings. This year's fancies are passing fancies, but sighing sighs, holding hands, these my heart understands. I'm old-fashioned, but I don't mind it. That's how I want to be, as long as you agree to stay old-fashioned, every day old-fashioned with me. Forgot to put air behind that. Me. Working on it. All right. I'm having a good time. Let's spin the wheel. Wish I could share the pictures. I have the pictures handy. I just don't know how to share pictures on this thing yet. I'm working on it. All right. Whoop. I got a wheel spin, but didn't land on anything. Let's try again. Poem! Excellent. Let us head into the Poetry Pagoda. Bringing this back up. 45 degrees. Huh? That's good. I like that. It's nice. I like how that's framed. Oh, beautiful. You are. Thank you, BJ. Your support means a lot to me. It's very, very kind. All right, let us read a poem. This is... Kubla Khan's too long. Let's do Last Lines. Last Lines by Emily Bronte. No coward soul is mine, no trembler in the world's storm-troubled sphere. I see heaven's glories shine, and faith shines equal, arming me from fear. O God within my breast, almighty, ever-present deity, life, that in me has rest, as I, undying life, have power in thee. Vain are the glorious creeds that move men's hearts, unutterably vain, worthless as withered seeds, or idless froth amid the boundless main. To waken doubt in one holding so fast by thine infinity, so surely anchored on the steadfast rock of immortality. With wide embracing love, thy spirit animates eternal fears, pervades and broods above, changes, sustains, dissolves, creates, and rears. Though earth and man were gone, and suns and universes ceased to be, and thou were left alone, every existence would exist in thee. There is not room for death, nor atom that his might could render void. Thou art being and breath, and what thou art may never be destroyed. I like that one. It's Emily Bronte. All right. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, feel good about it. All right. Nothing new in the chat except BJ being wonderful. Thank you, BJ. Let's spin the wheel. Almost 12. We wrap things up at 12:30 around here. Where are you, BJ? Are you home this week, or did you already start your trip out? What does that say? That's right, on the line. That could be anything. I don't know. I'm spinning again. Poem. Well, we just did a poem. I like poems, but let's mix it up. Sorry about that. Ooh, monologues. Let's go into the theater, do a monologue. I love these. Let us do a monologue. This is a comedy monologue. This is a comedy monologue I have so much fun stuff, but not enough. You know what? I want to do this one because this is important to me. I want to get a good tape of it. This is Just a Ride. Just a Ride by Bill Hicks. Life, it's a ride. This is Just a Ride by Bill Hicks. The world is like a ride in an amusement park, and you choose to go on it, and you think it's real because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real? Or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us. They say, hey, don't worry. Don't be afraid, ever. Because this is just a ride. And we kill those people. Shut him up. We have a lot invested in this ride. Shut him up. Look at the furrows of worry. Look at my big bank account and my family. This just has to be real. It's just a ride. But we always kill those good guys who try and tell us that. You ever notice that? And let the demons run amok? But it doesn't matter because it's just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice. Right now, between fear and love. The eyes of fear want you to put bigger locks on your doors, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love instead see all of us as one. Here's what we can do to change the world right now to a better ride. Take all that money we spend on weapons and defense each year and instead spend it feeding, clothing, and educating the poor of the world, which it would do many times over, not one human being excluded. And we can explore space together, both inner and outer, forever in peace. How about that? Huh? I love that guy. I'm a big fan of Bill Hicks. I know he's from your neck of the woods. He's an Oklahoman Texan. So I always like to give some love. Let's check in on the chat. How to have it. BJ says, I'm still in Washington State for a week and a half more. Well, if you come back next week, I will definitely ask you again. I lose my focus very easily. Let's spin the wheel. By the way, if you have any requests, BJ, feel free. I think it's just you and me at this point. That's kind of cool. There's a certain intimacy to it. Shakespeare. Let's go back to the Shakespeare stage. I'm Mac. All the way Mac. Forgot that part. That's one of my favorite parts. Let us do a reading from... Oh, this is good. This is from Titus Andronicus. This is a monologue from Titus Andronicus by William Shakespeare. It's a character named Aaron. Even now I curse the day, and yet I think few come within the compass of my curse, wherein I did not some notorious ill, as kill a man, or else devise his death, ravage a maid, or plot the way to do it, accuse some innocent, and forswear myself, set deadly enmity between two friends, make poor men's cattle break their necks, set fire on barns and haystacks in the night, and bid the owners quench them with their tears. Oft have I digged up dead men from their graves, and set them upright at their dear friends' doors, even when their sorrows almost were forgot, and on their skins, as on the barks of trees, have with my knife carved in Roman letters, let not your sorrow die, though I am dead. That I have done 1,000 dreadful things as willingly as one would kill a fly, and nothing grieves me indeed but that I cannot do 10,000 more. Evil! I like to play things kind of arch until I learn how to do it properly. All right, let's spin the wheel. Wrong button. Ask me anything. It's always open. Ask me anything. Ooh, another story. We already did one by Mark Twain. You can watch that earlier in the episode. Monologue again. You know what? I'm doing wisdom. Man suffers only because he takes seriously what the gods made for fun. Alan Watts. We seldom realize, for example, that our most private thoughts and emotions are not actually our own. For we think in terms of languages and images. Well, I already did that one. Yeah, all right. Let's do this. The meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple, and yet everybody rushes around in a great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves. It's from Alan Watts. This is the real secret to life: to be completely engaged with what you are doing in the here and now, and instead of calling it work, realizing it is play. Also from Alan Watts. One more. Muddied water is best cleared by leaving it alone. It's from Alan Watts. Fun. Let's spin the wheel. Woo. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, this is exciting. Wait. I'm going back to the chat chalet. Okay, this is very, very exciting for me. BJ, you can't see it, but trust me, she wrote. BJ wrote her on my PC or Mac. I told her I'm a Mac guy. And then she wrote, when I alone beweep my outcast state. That is from sonnet number 29, I think. It's my favorite sonnet. It's the only sonnet I have memorized. And I'm going to do it for you right now from memory to see if I can. Here we go. Kimmy's here. Hi, Kim. This is sonnet 24 by William Shakespeare. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy content at least. And yet, in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state as to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth. State with kings. Won't be using that on the highlight show. From southern earth to from heaven's gate. Hey, it's Kim and BJ. Thank you. I guess we'll never know. I suppose I could look it up. Oh, it's embarrassing. The memory's going faster and faster every single day, you know? Sonnet 29. I looked it up. Here we go. Yet, in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. That's what I was trying to say. Let's go back to the chat. It's not quite working, but I can still follow. Kim is here, ladies and gentlemen. Kim says hi to BJ. They're also friends from the Carnival Cruise Lines. Where are you calling in from, Kim? BJ is currently in Washington State. My favorite of all the Washingtons. All right, let's spin the wheel. Time for a joke. All right, then, let's go to the theater. Tell a joke. Now, I know hundreds of street jokes, but I have a very hard time remembering them on the spot, so I have a list of punchlines. Or if you like, you can put the punchline of your choice in the comments, and I will tell the joke. I will find one that you will enjoy. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Uh-huh. Good. Nope. All right. You're not here for... Uh-huh. Nope. Uh-huh. Oh, that's a good one. Here's a good. Oh, I forgot about that one. It's Ronald Reagan's favorite joke. You'll enjoy this one. It's about an optimist and a pessimist. There once were twin boys, age 6, that had developed extreme personalities. One was an extreme optimist. The other was an extreme pessimist. They were each concerned their parents took them to a psychiatrist. First, the psychiatrist treated the pessimist. Trying to brighten his outlook, the psychiatrist took him to a room filled with toys. But instead of laughing with delight, the boy said, I'm just going to break the toys anyway. Next, the psychiatrist treated the optimist. Looking to dampen his outlook, the psychiatrist took him to a room piled to the ceiling with horse manure. But instead of wrinkling his nose in disgust, the optimist climbed on top of the pile and started digging and digging and digging. And the psychiatrist says, what are you doing? The little boy says, with all this manure, there must be a pony in here somewhere. There you go. There's a joke we can all enjoy. Word on the street, that was Ronald Reagan's favorite joke. I'm just learning how to cut all these up to put them up. Ask me anything. You know we have an open policy on that. Let's see who's still here. I'll thank you both. Magic, you are. Zen Cohen. I already did one of those, but I'm prepared to do another. There was a whole lot of wisdom in that last Zen Cohen. Let's see if we can find one that's a little bit more story-based. This is Zen Cohen number 78. A rich man named Sengai asked to write something for the continued prosperity of his family so that it might be treasured from generation to generation. Sengai opened a large sheet of paper and wrote, "Father dies, son dies, grandson dies." The rich man became angry. "I asked you to write something for the happiness of my family. Why do you make such a joke at this?" "No joke is intended," explained Sengai. "If before you yourself die, your son should die, this would grieve you greatly. If your grandson should pass away before your son, both of you would be broken-hearted. If your family, generation after generation, passes away in the order I have named, it will be the natural course of life. I call this real prosperity." Nice. Spin the leaf. Feelings. Oh boy. All right, let's go talk about my feelings. I'm frustrated that this whole thing fell apart. I don't know what happened to it. It makes me unhappy. Other than that, I'm pretty happy. I'm enjoying Sunday's my big creative day. That's fun. The kids are going to be home every day for the next several months. That's exciting. I'm going to get to spend time with them and really do things. Hey, Dad is here. Hi, Dad. Oh, wait, she asked, hold on. BJ asked a question that I missed. Now, BJ asked, and this is a great question, would you go on another thru hike? What supplies do you think would be your must-haves that you didn't take the first time you did it? What year did you do it? These are all excellent questions. I'm going to answer them now, and then I'll talk about my feelings. Debbie and I did our thru hike in 2008. I would definitely do another one very, very slowly. I enjoy walking in the woods. I go out once a month just to be by myself. I don't hike much, but I really, really enjoy being in nature. Let's see. What supplies do you think would be your must-haves that didn't exist the first time you did it? The year we did it was right before cell phones having cameras built into them and being able to post on the internet. We still had to go into hotels and stuff and get on their business center computer to post on Facebook, so that'll be a whole lot easier. We use mostly old-fashioned stuff anyway. All it really is just shoes and tent. You don't need anything fancy. It's what you don't carry with you that makes it fun, and I would definitely do it again. I sincerely hope you do it too. I can't think of any new technology that broke since then that's better. Higher stakes, I guess. I don't know. Good question, but thanks for asking. I hope that answered the question. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. And my feelings, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm anxious to start producing more. I'm excited about taping my special in November. I got a little half-hour special that's coming up. I'm excited about putting that together. I'm excited about working with my friends today. I love my Sundays. I love my kids. I love my wife. The weather's getting hot. I don't care for that. That's my feelings. Let's spin the wheel. Miss Granddad. Miss you, Dad. Wish I could spend some more time with you. I'll give you a call in a little bit. Monologue. All right, let's go to the theater. We'll do a comedy monologue. Let's see. Dad is here. He's heard that one and that one. Kim hasn't heard that one. This is marvelous. This is from a television program called Devs. If you have not seen Devs, I highly recommend that you do. It's excellent. I've seen it 4 times through now. It's a standalone series starring Nick Offerman and Allison Pill and many, many others. It's excellent. This is a speech from one of my favorite episodes describing what they do at Devs. It's entitled, Does Anything Happen Without a Reason? Does anything happen without a reason? No. Maybe you're thinking, a kid getting leukemia, somebody getting hit by lightning. Seems like an endless list, but I didn't ask you if things ever happen without a good reason. I said a reason. The leukemia was an aberration in the kid's DNA. The lightning was a static discharge. Why did the pen roll across the table? I pushed it. Why did I push it? To make a point. That's a reason. It's why the pen rolled across the table. I blinked. Why did I just blink? My eyes were dry, or I was nervous. Does anything ever happen without a reason? Surely there must be some events, right? Random events. Name a random event. Take a moment, think about it, and then name one. Maybe coin flip. A coin flip is not a random event. It's a complex event. How hard was the coin flipped? What was the weight of the coin? The air resistance? The temperature in the room? The angle it landed on the table? Okay? Not a coin flick. Maybe suggestions. Selection. Selecting from things that are all the same. Objects like identical copies of a book at a bookstore. You chose the one beneath the top of the pile because it had been handled less. Meteors landing, roulette wheels spinning, misfortune suffered, they can all be unraveled. You can't name a random event because there are no random events. So you ask, what is my work? This is my work. This is the only principle you need to understand. Nothing ever happens without a reason. Everything was determined by something prior. That's it. Now, take a computer. Give it all the data that can exist about this pen rolling across this table. Its trajectory, velocity, mass of its component parts, atomic structure. What can the computer now tell you? It can tell you how hard the pen was pushed, and it can tell you when the pen will stop rolling. The computer can see backwards. The computer can see forwards. Now, do that with everything. Not just the pen, everything. That's my work. Huh? That's from Devs. You should watch that show. Let's spin the wheel. Here we go. Lovely to see people loving people. Poems, yay, that's my favorite. Let's go to the Poetry Pagoda. Headphones on. Cool angle accomplished. Whoop, this way. That's it. Yeah. There's the sweet spot right there. Gonna read you a poem. Hope you like it. Poem. Hope you like it. This is How about, oh, that's Shakespeare. I don't want to read Shakespeare. I want to read poems. Let us do Meeting at Night by Robert Browning. Meeting at Night by Robert Browning. The gray sea and the long black land, and the yellow half-moon large and low, and the startled little waves that leap in fiery ringlets from their sleep, as I gain the cove with pushing prow, and quench its speed in the slushy sand. Then a mile of warm sea-scented beach, 3 fields to cross till a farm appears, a tap at the pane, the quick sharp scratch and blue spurt of a lighted match, and a voice less loud through its joys and fears, then the 2 hearts beating each to each. Lovely. Now spin the wheel. Done wisdom? Not enough. Done songs, jokes, poems, limericks. All right. Already did a story. Already did a story. So we're going to go back to wisdom. You want to do some more Alan Watts? Let's do some more Alan Watts. Let us do better yet, let's do some Rumi. The wound is the place where the light enters you. That's from Rumi. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. That's from Rumi. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself. That's from Rumi. One more. Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes back in another form. That's from Rumi. Let's spin the wheel. Poem. Let's go to the poetry corner. And we're back. This time, I would like to read you. What's that all about? Mouth noises. Mouth noises. Mouth. Right here. Right here's the sweet spot. Yeah. Yeah. Right here. Here we go. Now I'm exactly where I need to be. Hey, everybody. Let's read a poem, shall we? See if I can remember one. Oh, yes. That's a good one I remember. This is The Last Ride Together by Robert Browning. I said, then, dearest, since 'tis so, since now at length my fate I know, since nothing all my love avails, since all my life seems meant for fails, since this was written and needs must be, my whole heart rises up to bless your name in pride and thankfulness. Take back the hope you gave. I claim only a memory of the same, and this beside, if you will not blame, your leave for one more last ride with me. My mistress bent that brow of hers, whose deep, dark eyes were pride demurs, when pity would be softening through, fixed me a breathing while or two, with life or death in the balance right. The blood replenished me again. My last thought was at least not vain. I and my mistress, side by side, shall be together, breathe and ride. More am I deified.
Who knows but the world may end tonight? Hush! If you saw some western cloud all billowy balsamed, overbowed by many benedictions, suns and moons and evening stars at once, and so you, looking and loving best, conscience grew. Your passion drew cloud, sunset, moonrise, starshine too, down on you, near and yet more near, till flesh must fade, for heaven was here. Thus lent she and lingered, joy and fear. Thus lay she a moment on my breast. Then we began to ride. My soul smoothed itself out, a long cramped scroll freshening and fluttering in the wind. Past hopes already lay behind. What need to strive a life awry? Had I said that, had I done this, so might I gain, so might I miss. Might she have loved me? Just as well she might have hated, who can tell? Where had I been now if the worst befell? And here we are writing, she and I. Fail I alone in words and deeds? Why, all men strive, and who succeeds? We rode. It seemed my spirit flew, saw other regions, cities new, as the world rushed by on either side. I thought all labor, let no less bear up beneath their unsuccess. Look at the end of the world, contrast the petty done, the undone vast. This present of theirs with the hopeful past would love me. Here we ride. What hand and brain went e'er paired? What heart alike conceived and dared? What act proved all its thought had been? What will but felt the fleshly screen? We ride, and I see her bosom heave. There's many a crown for those who can reach. 10 lines, a statesman's life in each. The flag stuck in a heap of bones, a soldier's doing what atones. They scratch his name on the abbey stones. My writing is better by their leave. What does it all mean, poet? Well, your brains beat into rhythm. You tell what we felt only. You expressed. You hold things beautiful the best, and paste them in rhyme, so side by side 'tis something. Nay, 'tis much, but then have you yourself what's best for men? Are you poor, sick, old ere your time, nearer one wit your own sublime than we, who never have turned a rhyme? Sing, riding's joy for me. I ride. And you, great sculptor, so you gave a score of years to art, her slave, and that's your Venus. Whence we turn to yonder girl that fords the burn. You acquiesce, and shall I repine? What, man of music, you grown gray with notes and nothing else to say, is your soul praise? From a friend, greatly his opera's strains intend, but in music we know how fashions end. I gave my youth, but we ride, in fine. Who knows what's fit? For here should sublimate my being, had I signed the bond. Still one must lead some life beyond, have a bliss to die with, dim descried. This foot once planted on the goal, this glory garland round my soul. Could I descry such? Try and test. I sink back shuddering from the quest. Earth being so good, would heaven seem best. Now, heaven and she are beyond this ride. And yet she has not spoke so long. What if heaven be that, fair and strong, at life's best, with our eyes upturned, whither life's flower is first discerned, we, fixed so, ever should so abide? What if we still ride on, we two, with life forever old yet new, changed not in kind but in degree, the instant made eternity, and heaven just prove that I and she ride and ride together, forever ride. I like that one. That makes me think of my wife. Let's check on the chat.
Kim says that she needs to add Notebooks of Lazarus Long by Robert Hyland to my wisdom collection. I will do so first thing next week. I love Robert Heinlein, and I haven't read the Notebooks of Lazarus Long, so I'll check that out for sure. Thank you very much for getting involved. Let's spin a wheel. Wait, first, yeah. Only 5 minutes left. Let's hope we get something good. Poem. Boy, we just did 2 poems. Come on, help me out. Feelings. I feel like I want to do something awesome. Come on, give me something. Already talked about my feelings. I'm grateful to you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you sticking there with me. Story. It's already been done. All right, forget it. We're going to the theater. I'm doing a monologue. Let's do... I should have way more monologues. Sorry, everybody. Let us do... Wilson Countersink Phalanges by Phil Hartman. Hi, does this ever happen to you? Oh man, looks like the countersink flange went out on the CD7 unit multiplier, knocking out hydraulic torque to this electric heat riser. Again? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Most countersink flanges will experience hydraulic torque leak throughout their less than 7,000 RQMs, especially when coupled with a double flux lumen switcher. But with Wilson countersink flanges and Dory flanges, hydraulic torque is allowed to bypass the settling clutch, providing steady wall pressure to the lug manifold and all the seismic rotors. And that goes for 7,000 RQMs, 8,000 RQMs, even 10,000 RQMs. That's right, 10,000! Yeah, that does it. What with new Wilson countersink flange, this CD7 should be able to handle vacuum kickbacks up to 22 blossom valves. Now, if I could just get my kid to mow the lawn. Wilson countersink flanges and Dory flanges. Because when you've got hydraulic torque leak through, every second can mean lost pranktons. Fun. Yeah, that's by Phil Hartman. Who doesn't love him, right? All right, let's spin the wheel. Shakespeare! Back to the theater. This is one of the best-known monologues from the Scottish play. She should have lived hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow. And tomorrow. And tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day into the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out! Out, brief candle! Life is a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. 'Tis a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Fun. I don't know if you guys can hear the music or not. I got technical problems. Might have to redo this whole thing. Whatever the case, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a little bit of fun. I surely enjoyed stretching my legs. Hope you heard something beautiful. And I hope to see you again next week with a working chat. Until then, remember there's only one way to save this country, and that's for all of us to love one another. So, love yourself first, and then love somebody else. And then if you can, love everybody. Till next time, we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Keep shining through, just like you always do, and the blue skies will push the dark clouds far away. And would you please say hello to the folks that I know and tell 'em I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Thanks for watching. Bye.